Now it's time to move to our panel discussion, and the topic is Creators, Communities and Commerce, the new media flywheel. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sajid Gopal, Head of Media at Domino's. Please give a huge round of applause. I hope you guys are caffeinated now, so can we have some louder applause here? Come on. Thank you. I request the team to please check for Mr. Gopal. Oh, there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sajid Gopal, Head of Media at Domino's. Round of applause. Thank you so much, Mr. Gopal, for joining us. Next up, we have Ms. Harshita Gaur, actress joining us. She is a popular face. Give a huge round of applause. Thank you, Harshita. Next up, we have Mr. Vishal Sharma, Head Media Sales at Crex. Round of applause for Mr. Sharma. Now the session is going to be moderated by Ms. Niyati Desai, AVP, Growth and Partnership, Social Cloud. Please welcome her with a huge round of applause. Thank you, Ms. Desai, for joining us. I request you to please take over the session.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. We've been talking about creator economy, influencer marketing, and an explosion of content over the last few years, right? But I think the conversation has moved beyond how many people actually saw the content or how many people did we reach, right? Today, creators are building communities, they're shaping conversations, and they're also influencing culture. More importantly, we're seeing that influencers are actually influencing end consumer to choose what to buy, right? So the question today I want to explore is that how does this journey actually happen, right? From a creator to a community to trust building and eventually commerce. So I think we have a very three different perspective today with us to unpack. We have Harshita, who has experienced this firsthand as an actor, right from an evaluation of TV to OTT to social media. So she brings that expertise on stage today, and she has also seen her community grow around her work, right? So we have Harshita. We have Sajid, who brings us the brand perspective and also the marketer perspective, and we'll see how a marketer is actually navigating the changing ecosystem. And we have Mr. Vishal with us. He brings the platform perspective, where people are today, and we saw even Shakil's presentation where we saw that today people are not just coming on to just watching the content, but they're also participating in it, right? So, so rather than making this conversation purely about just the followers losing engagement, I would want to sort of focus on to saying that this journey that we're trying to unlock is how what is people making it care, how are people trusting it, and eventually we're making them act. So I'll start with you, Harshita, for the first question.
Hey everyone.
So Harshita, you've experienced, like I said, right, the evolution of TV, because you started with TV to OTT to now being into the creators economy, right? Now you have direct relationship with your audience through social media because you've been putting a lot of your personal life onto social media. What's the change that you've seen the most in the relationship?
I think it's become more intimate, so to say, because they feel that they have direct access to you. Earlier, it would be more like you've performed something, you've done a character, they come and watch it, and then they probably, whatever opinion they want to have of you is through your characters. But now it's become more about you, because they want to know who you are, and they know you who you are. They know where you're going, what you're eating, who your friends are, what you're liking, all of that they know. So it's like a lot of access they have into your lives. So that has been the biggest change that I feel. And I mean, in TV it was lesser, then OTT still more because they invested and they chose what to see. And now with social media, it's just even more. That's a platform that they want to see more of you.
That's where they get the rawness of the person and not the character per se, right? Sujit, I'll come to you from a brand and a media perspective. Are you also seeing the same shift from an audience consuming content to audience actually participating into culture?
So one thing, not to be controversial, but participation was always there. So every time we watched cricket, 10 years back also, we were very much involved, we were participative into it. The difference that we changed, from, especially for marketers, is became more measurable. Earlier years, the conversation which was restricted to a kitchen or two friends having a discussion. So, example is, I'm an automotive freak, so whenever a new car comes out, I would always discuss it with my peers, colleagues, which was a close conversation. There was no way to record it, no way to measure it. Now it became more easier, it's measurable, it's there. And once a challenge with the marketers is that once it becomes easily measurable, we want to influence it very greatly. So yes, with celebrities, I believe it's become more two-way communication. It's been permanently recorded. Any statement you make, people can actually accumulate all the feelings. It becomes more measurable, more actionable. You can also reach out to them. Initially, there used to be a press release that needs to go out, and there's communication. Now, within minutes, people also expect the brand to react. So if something happens, and the expectation is that within an hour, there's a comment that comes from the brand. They're not keen on waiting for the next day. A celebrity does something, they want immediacy is the cause of it. And it's become, yes, definitely, I believe it's more challenging for influencers and for brands also. We are more pushed to be on our toes. We don't have the breathing time to make sure that might be, let's take a day's time to think about what you want to say. And more critically, the problem is also the fact that it gets recorded. So a brand says something today, it might be cut off. After 5 years, someone would pick up the post and say, boss, you said this. And totally not even in the same context, but because statements you make and actions you do are relevant to that time period, what's happening. When it comes after a later period of time, people have forgotten the context, they only remember the words. So it's becoming very critical for brands and celebrities when they work together to make sure the harmony is perfect and to be more cautious as well.
Correct, correct. And I would agree on the spontaneity piece, definitely. Today, you cannot wait for the next 24 hours to make your decision. Coming to Vishal, you're sitting on a platform like we just saw to say that where people are engaging in consuming content, right? And they're very actively engaging with the kind of numbers that we saw. Has the audience participation itself become an asset of sorts? Which could be then marketed to the brands like the Sujit that we have today.
Yeah. See, if I talk with respect to participation and engagement, I talk like just like Sajid said, that participation was always there. It was never recorded. It was never measured. With a platform like Craigs, that where we have almost around 50 million people with 8 to 10 million of daily active users, they are not just there for live scorecard or ball-by-ball commentary. They are basically there to give their own opinions about it. We have live discussion tab where basically they are giving their opinions. They have vote on polls, and that is where a brand participation comes into the picture as well. Apart from that, if we look at it from a media perspective, it is not just about like, share or subscribe. It is going much beyond that. It is about how people are engaging with it and then building a community. So with a platform like Craigs, if I take sports as an example, we are building communities for people wherein the real fandom or the real engagement or the participation comes into the picture.
Yeah, I mean that brings me to my next question, because today we've been using the word community very casually, right? Because we're seeing people building communities, but today, like we were discussing, to say that today 10 million followers is not the actual 10 million people who care, right? For you also, Harshita, right? Like today, if you would have 1 million plus followers, but they're not actually the 1 million who really care for you, right? There are very select few trusted, engaged audience on your platform, right? So you've seen this fandom around Mirzapur, and you know, what does the audience do that kind of gives you that sense, right? That now this is my trusted audience, or this is someone with whom I can create the community, right? And I suppose the congratulations are also in the order with the new movie release. So big congratulations to you and the team as well. But I would want to understand from the fandom perspective and the community that we shall just touch upon, to say how does the audience engage with you differently, which then makes you feel create a community with them.
So I have not been out and out creator. Most of my journey has been of an actor. And I would say, first of all, thank you so much. Really excited for 4th of September. Coming back to your point, I feel when we see people participating a lot in keeping it relevant, because there are years between the seasons to come when the work is not happening, but they will engage so much, they will make memes, there have been times where they have written their own storylines of what the characters can do in the further season, and they have mailed my creators. So that much of an engagement from people who've seen the show. So they're not merely watching, they are consuming it in a way where they feel that they're part of it. And they comment also in a way that they feel like they have ownership of this particular show that they're watching, and they're so engaged with the characters that they're making storylines. They're coming up with their own set of ideas and thoughts about it. So that's where you feel like, okay, a community is building. Because it's not merely just watching, coming back home and forgetting about it. It's like constantly engaging with that. And to a degree that even if there's nothing coming out, they still add it. So that's something which is incredible, and because of that community building, we've been able to pull off 3 seasons, and another film is also coming out. So definitely, this is the difference that I see. And when I said that I have been more of an actor, so whatever following also I have hasn't come from purely creating content. It has come from the characters. And I've been probably my page, or as an actor, I've been able to manage that because the audience have engaged and sort of made their own whatever they have done. So that is where I feel the difference, that because of their participation, it has become a community and not just merely fans watching something.
Absolutely. So Vishal, can you see that behavior through data as well on a platform like Netflix? And what is the signal, that today the audience is genuinely engaged rather than just being present? With numbers, with the kind of participation that you get on the platform.
See, data becomes very, very important when we talk about the participation, because now it is moving to the area wherein we genuinely see how the votes are being planned, and then see on what is the amount of number that we have voted over there. Apart from that, if I talk with respect to the content creation as well, see, a creator can bring in the influence and the platform brings in the attention, and this, when combines together, builds a community, and that is the community wherein most of the people, or like the effect which we are moving towards AI or a more knowledgeable section is coming in. We kind of feel that the community-led platforms will be the next important step in the media mix of the times.
Yeah, we've seen that conversation even in the leadership panel, and thanks for touching upon that. Jeet, to you, when you're a brand, how more valuable it is, right, in terms of building community with your audience set, right, then just like we do this TVs, we do the Simply reach buying assets and things like that. But how do you would want to, and if you could quote any examples from any of the things that you would have done in the past in terms of bringing the whole community together from a brand perspective?
So, from the position I am here right now, so it's a very positive scenario for me, because the Domino's app itself is a large community in itself. And look, it depends on the category to category. So there will be tech categories which would have a lot of question and food inherently is a very impulse sharing piece. It's more instant decision. You don't think about what to eat for 2 days. You think it, you buy it, and luckily we deliver it to you in 30 minutes. So It's done and dusted. So for that, yes, it's a relevant part. So yeah, the app actually facilitates a lot of things, and we are so inherently food has this ability to be part of all conversations, and especially as Indians, might be internationally it's still more this thing. Indians luckily have the tendency of food as part of all conversations. So all communities, all conversations we're having, we do not have to work too hard to figure out a space because food is there. Be it a cricket match, I don't have to work too hard on it because the moment you're watching a good match, you have some good foods. The moment you say India is playing well, the kitchen shuts off, you order something nice, you're with your family, you're watching it. It's a natural piece on it. Hence, it becomes more relevant. So, might be a specific community is tougher, but all the other categories there are, so automotive, tech, and everything, they work very hard. Finance is a big community building that I've seen well. Tech and auto have been trying to work hard a lot on communities. Finance, I believe, in the last 5 years is one of those categories who's great on community because a lot of people are starting investing. People want to talk to experts. And we have this tendency. So look, we believe that let's check with people what they're doing, reviews. So even if we're going for a food item, you would like to go back and check what did people talk about it. Not just this restaurant. What I need to order is something that people check out what is good here. Is dal makhani good here? Is chicken good here? If I'm visiting some place, gone are those days when you go and just visit the popular places. Anyone who is traveling right now would post. So one of the search engines, so Google as a search engine has gone down to now YouTube being a larger search engine, Instagram being a larger search engine. These are all driven by communities, and it adds a lot of trust. For someone to tell me, for a Make My Trip tells me what to go, I would might be prefer a traveler who I know believes multiple travelers and travelers who would go to adventure places. So I can figure out the person I like and I can relate to it might be, so this person is saying his advice will be more accurate. There are people who believe in luxury travel, there are people who believe in adventure travel, spiritual travel is being happening. So all those aspects come into play when community is becoming. And it's I think one of the bigger relevant things out there because that's becoming the source of information.
Thanks for touching upon the word trust, Steve, because today we're seeing we're seeing people creating content, creators creating content, and the trust is actually fragile, right? Because we're not sure in terms of people endorsing the brand is actual real consumer of it or not, right? So I'm just coming to you, Harshita, to say that does associating with multiple brands ownership kind of dilutes the trust that the audience has when it comes to you as a creator, as an actor. So would you like to just touch upon that?
Yes, it can dilute it, but I wouldn't say it's only the number of whatever you're putting out that can dilute it. I think also one of the biggest challenges when I wanted to do something on social media and Instagram was why would somebody buy something if I'm just selling it, like, you know, and maybe that's because the trust kicks in there. It's more to do with the authenticity, the relevance of it. Now, tomorrow, if I have to talk about something that's not relevant to me, nobody's gonna buy it. Forget the product, they're not gonna even buy the fact that I'm talking about it. So that does not make sense. So I think what is more important is that whatever you're trying to, in a very layman language, sell, is also relevant to you as a personality, which was not the case earlier. Like earlier, I could just be a performer or an actor and do a TVC for something, and that's about it. But today, because audiences feel they have access to who I am and my personality, if there's something that is not relevant to me, it will not make sense for me to showcase that on my social media. And secondly, no one will buy it. So the trust cannot be built there. So I think instead of the number, I can do 4 brands which are hair brands, which is fine as long as it's hair brand. I'm talking authentically about it and I use them because ultimately I'm an actor and I'm talking about hair, so it's relevant. So I think relevance is more important than the number of things that you're putting out.
That brings me to Sajid. When it comes to authenticity, right? We've seen brands today where we are requesting sort of creators to compromise onto that authenticity to bring the value in the brand, right? So I want to understand that at what level of compromise the one needs to do from a creator's perspective when it comes to any brand endorsements or any brand collaborations.
So, look, compromise is a very strong term to say, but look, whenever a brand is putting a certain amount of budgets out, it's an objective they want to reach out to you. And believe me, it's a well thought out process. There are a lot of brains behind it when they realize that this is what needs to be communicated, this aspect of the product, and it's like an artist. So a brand team knows that this is what the visual identity of the brand is. This hours and hours of debating that go behind that. So definitely there are certain guardrails that need to be followed. But at the same time, you need to distinguish between influencer and a TVC. It's a clear distinction. There are two objectives to it. So if you find that the guardrails are being compromised, that decision needs to be made before you select this celebrity. There's no way. So that happens because when you purely follow numbers and leave out the emotional portion out of it. So someone might be very high numbers, but then you have to also, before selecting that person or working with them, take the question yourself that does it work with my bank ethos? There's no way of pushing him and even that doesn't work. Well, if that needs to be done, you can create a TVC and believe me, it's being a planner of it, I can get enough amount of reach out there. That's easy. It's the easiest task for a planner to do. What influencers want to do is the lower funnel, the concentration, the affluences that matters. Hence, if I would disagree the fact that a lot of times we also go wrong in that statement, but the moment you're going wrong there, that's where your business is kind of not working very well. So you need to be very cognizant of the front. The decision needs to be done before. If there will be people who would be right in their sense, but does not work with my brand purpose, let me stay away from them.
Absolutely. I think I've been into the industry, we've seen that there has been a win-win for both the brand and the creators when it comes to creating content. We've seen where the brands have, and I agree, I wouldn't want to use the word compromise, but brands have adapted themselves to creators' world and ecosystem. And creators have adapted themselves to the brand's ethos, like you mentioned. Coming to Vishal, can platforms actually identify the difference between the trust and the influence, and or are we currently working on the proxies like we have when it comes to views, likes, and engagement?
See, I believe trust is a very complex word when it comes to if I talk with respect to the creators, a creator can influence people, they can bring in the attention, and at times they can bring in the conversion as well. But if that becomes a habit and if the consumer is going to the shop because of the creators, then that brings in the trust where the repeat conversion is happening. From a platform point of view, we believe, see, for a brand wherein almost around 50 million app downloads are there, if a person is taking the pain of downloading the app and then keeping it in your phone and using it for almost around 25 minutes, that is where the trust comes in. That is where I feel a lot of content consumption which is happening is relevant to the person. If I talk with respect to measuring it, it is not just about the overall CDRs, which were basically the conversion metrics, which has been the conversion metrics till now as well, but it is now more to do with what the consumer does after they have consumed the content. So just like for TV as well, it was earlier used to be a lot of conversation wherein they were watching the match, but after that what is happening is not there. But from a platform point of view, if a consumer is coming before the match as well, coming between the match as well while watching the TV, and after that coming to the app wherein they are looking at it from a point of view that what happened in the match, that is where the real difference comes in.
Thank you for sort of putting this in a very straightforward manner, right? And you spoke about them acting in terms of getting conversion, right? And that's where my commerce kind of comes into play, where we are getting people to act in terms of buying, right? Where in that journey do you see the creators have the greater influence? when and when we talk about the funnel, right? Whether it's in the awareness, the consideration, or the intent in terms of making that purchase decision. So could you just touch upon that?
I think Mr. Vishal rightly said that an influencer can bring in attention. I mean, you've seen somebody creating or performing, you get the attention, so you obviously get to influence them. But that automatically may not convert into trust until a community is formed, and which has become very, very imperative now that you have a community. If you're creating, if you're trying to influence something. Now, how that converts, I think for me, I personally feel that if my audience also sees that it's not going to be a one-time, let's say, a partnership which is like you put something out as a reel or a post and then you expect your audience to sort of catch on to that and quickly go and buy that stuff. That's not going to happen. It may give the brand some reach, yes, because it'll go to a certain number of followers also. But to actually convert them into commerce, which is the next thing to go about, is if they see me using it, if they see me in my day-to-day life using it, and that's where the trust builds. So you have to, whatever you're believing in, whatever you're sort of putting it out, there has to be a repeat value to it. Because if that's not there, then it's just a one-time thing which doesn't work anymore. So it has to come with some sort of repeated value, and then obviously you as a creator to believe in it too. So that's how I feel that now it's become very important to go about anything that you want to influence the audience with.
Perfect. I think that's where the whole trust and the authenticity kind of comes and plays a major role. While we're just running out of time, I'll just close this with the last thing. I'm just going to give you 20 seconds each, and we're talking about the next media flywheel, right? So I want to understand that the next media flywheel will be built around, and you have to take the sentence. Sajid, would you like to go first?
It's again very simple. It's a multi-channel piece. Everything has a place. You just have to figure out what that is. One thing doesn't build the flywheel. It's a multi-dimensional flywheel with different angles and different prospects. Everything needs to fit in its own role. There's a role for everything.
A little copy of that. And I would like to say that I feel going forward it would be, again, because there are people out there who are not merely they are consumers, but people who are on, let's say, if I just talk about personally as a creator, they're not just there as customers, they're choosing to build their trust in me. So I think going forward it would be building a community and then trying to sort of influence them, which you also sort of believe in.
I believe content will bring in the attention. The platforms will bring in the community and participation, and when it happens with the right intention and right values, over time it will give the trust which will help the brands with their overall brand values.
Okay, perfect. And thank you for your valuable inputs and things. I mean, perhaps we're seeing new media flywheel perspectives, communities, relationships. And thank you for being with us today. And I'll just hand it over back.
Thank you, Nivedita, for conducting it so beautifully.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for this wonderful panel? Thank you to all our panelists. Thank you, Niyati, for conducting this session. I request Mr. Satyajit, ma'am, please wait back. I request Mr. Satyajit Singh to please come up on stage to felicitate all our panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Harshita Gaur, please give her a huge round of applause. And all the very best for the 4th of September, Mirzapur film coming up. So, thank you so much. you so much, Mr. Sajid Gopal. Ms. Niyati Desai, thank you for moderating this panel so beautifully. And Mr. Vishal Sharma. It's been a pleasure having all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you so much.